Sai Ram students, yes, welcome back. Today we will be continuing with the third part of our lesson 2.2, 3 questions by Leo Tolstoy. Okay, so now we'll see what the story so far we have learnt. Okay, so we learned that in the king made a proclamation that he wanted to get answers to 3 of his questions. So what were his 3 questions? Yes, his first question was there, who are the most important people. Second, which is the most important time to do a work. And third, which is the most important work you can do. So the king sends a proclamation and then he gets various answers from different people. But he is not satisfied with the answers which he gets. So what he does, he comes to know about a very wise hermit, and he goes to meet the hermit. So he disguises himself as a common person and goes to meet the hermit. The hermit, who is there at his hut, is digging. The king goes and tells him that he wants answers to the 3 questions, and he tells the 3 questions. The hermit keeps on digging but does not answer any of his question. And afterwards, the king, out of curiosity, out of frustration, he tells him to give the spade because he wants to help them. Willingly, the hermit also gives him the spade, and the king starts digging the ground. 1 hour passed, and the hermit tells him to give the spade so he can continue. The king refuses. Okay, so while they are talking, the king tells him that at least tell me whether you are going to give me the answer. If not, I will just go away. I will not force you to give me the answer. So while they are talking, the hermit says, here comes someone running. He finds someone coming running towards them. Okay, so when they look at that person who is coming running towards them, they find that the person is wounded. Okay, so the king, what does he do? He tends to the wounds of the bearded man. Yes, and he cleans his wound and bandages it, and then the hermit and the king takes the wounded man inside the hermit's hut. Okay, and the king sleeps. In the morning, when the king wakes up, he finds that this bearded man is gazing intently at the king. So the king asks him what happened. He tells the king, the bearded man asks for forgiveness from the king. The king is wondering, why is he asking forgiveness from me? The bearded man tells him the truth. He told that actually I had come to kill you. Out of revenge, I wanted to revenge you for a person whose brother you had executed. I came to know that you are going to meet the hermit, so I had followed you. But you did not come out. I was going to kill you while you returned towards your palace. But the day passed and you did not come out, and I had to come out of the ambush. As soon as I came out the ambush, your bodyguards attacked me and wounded me. And I fled from there and I reached over here. And you helped me. You saved my life. And I am very much influenced by you. I am very much thankful for you that you have saved my life. And now I promise that I will be loyal to you. I will do any work for you. Because since you have changed my life, though initially I had intended to kill you, but you didn't know about it. In spite of that, you helped me, you saved my life, and as a result, and in return, I am going to be loyal to you. Okay, this is what the bearded man said. Now let's see what happens further. The king was very glad to have made peace with an enemy so easily and to have gained him for a friend. He not only forgave him, but said he would send his men and his own physician to attend to him. The king then took leave of him and went out of the hut to look for the hermit. Before going away, he wished once more to beg for an answer to the questions he had asked. The hermit was outside on his knees sowing seeds in the beds that he had been dug the day before. The king approached him and said, for the last time, I pray you to answer my questions. Wise man, you have already been answered, said the hermit, still crouching on his thin legs and looking up at the king, who stood before him. What do you mean? Asked the king. So we'll see what does it mean over here. Okay, so what did the king mean by telling that he was very happy to have made peace with an enemy so easily, and he had made that enemy a friend of his. So he not only forgave the enemy but also saw to it that he was treated well. So he sent his men and a physician to attend to him. And then he wanted to take leave of the hermit. One last chance he wanted to take, whether to see he could get the answer from the hermit for his 3 questions. So before going away, he wished once more to beg for the answer. He said, "For the last time I pray to give answer." So the hermit says, "Your answers, you have already received the answers. Your questions have been answered." The king is surprised. "What do you mean by saying that I have received the answer, whereas you have not given me the answers?" But what did the hermit actually mean? "Do you not see," replied the hermit, "if you had not pitied my weakness yesterday and stayed to dig these beds for me, you would have gone back and been killed by that man. So the most important time was when you were digging the beds, and I was the most important man, and to do me good was your most important business. Afterwards, the most important time was when you were attending to that man, for if you would not bound his wounds, he would have died without having made peace with you. So he was the most important man, and when you did for him was what you did for him was your most important business. Remember then, there is only one time that is important now. It is the most important time because it is the only time when we have any power. The most necessary person is the person with whom you are, for you do not know whether you will ever have dealings with anyone else. And the most important thing is to do this person good, because for that purpose alone were you sent into this life." So the hermit explains to the king the 3 answers which he had given to him, but the king couldn't understand. So he explains to him. He tells him the most important time was the time when you stayed back and helped me in digging the beds, because if you had left from here, you would have been killed by this person. Okay, so that time was most important for you, and you had waited, were helping me, so I was the most important person for you. Yes, and the help which you gave me was the most important business of yours. Afterwards, same thing you did. You helped the person, you waited for the person who was wounded you, and you tended to his wounds. That was the most important time, and the most important person was that person to whom you were tending. And the most important thing which you did was the help which you provided to him. So he told that the most, and again trying to explain to him, is telling that remember, the most important time is now, because at this time, the present time, now means the present time, because the time when you have any power. In future, whether you have any power, it is not known, right? And the most important person is the person who is with you. Yes, why is that person most important person for you? Because you never know whether in future you will ever get a chance to deal with that person. And the most important business which you have to do is to do good to this person whom you are with. Yes, and why you have to do good with the person is the reason, because for that sole purpose were you sent to life on this earth, on this planet. So this lesson has given us a very beautiful moral, to do good to the person whom you are with, to do good for everybody whom you know. Yes, so that's a very beautiful message which the lesson has given us. Fine. So we have some activities to do. Read the story and answer whether the following statements are true or false. The people convinced the king to make a proclamation. Did the people convince? No. So this is a false statement. The hermit spoke usually to everyone. This is a false statement, because the hermit spoke only to people who were common people he spoke to. The king received all answers from the hermit. Yes, he got all the answers from the hermit. The person the king saved and helped was his enemy. He was an enemy. And to do good to people is the purpose of our life. Yes, this is the message which the lesson is giving us. So it is a true statement. Next, the character traits of the king and the hermit are mixed up. Sort them out in the right box. Okay. Okay, so we have to sort the character traits which are given over here: feeble, impatient, patient, helpful, eager to succeed, convincing, enlightened, wise. So we have to arrange them into the traits, the qualities of the king and the hermit. So we have it here, the qualities or the character traits of the king: impatient, eager to succeed, and helpful. And that of the hermit: feeble, enlightened, patient, convincing, wise. So we have put the character traits of the king in the box where it was the king and for the hermit. Fine. Moving ahead, consider the list of the different things that happened and rearrange them in order of time. That is, what happened first, what happened next, and so on. Read the related paragraph again if you are uncertain. Okay, so this is just like you have to arrange in chronological order or in order of their occurrence. But children, while doing so, the most important thing which you are going to keep in mind is whatever may be the first sentence. Suppose if your first sentence is the third sentence in the question: the king executed the bearded man's brother. So when I write my first sentence, what will I do? I will put the same alphabet which is given over here, that is C. So suppose if C is my first sentence, so while writing my first sentence, I will write C and then I will write my sentence. Suppose if my next sentence is, for example, B, so I will write B and then I will write my sentence. The next sentence is F, for example. So I will write it as that way. I will not write A, B, C. I will write the original alphabet given to that sentence. Let's see how I have done it. So my first sentence is C. The king executed the bearded man's brother. So see the alphabet what I have put, the original alphabet which is given in the question. So whatever alphabet or a number is given, you have to put that in the order of the occurrence. The king went alone to see the hermit is my second sentence. The alphabet is B. The bearded man resolved to kill the king. It is A. So this was the first sentence in the question. So it was given as A. So even when I am writing the answer, I have written it as A. The bearded man laid an ambush to kill the king. That is my fourth sentence according to the order of occurrence. Next sentence, the bearded man came out of the ambush. Next sentence, the king's bodyguards recognized and wounded the bearded man. And my last sentence is the D1. The king spent the night at the hermit's hut. Yes. So these I have arranged in order of their occurrence, and I have not named that as A, B, C. Accordingly, I have given them the alphabets which were there given to them in the question. So if in exam such questions are asked, children, keep in mind that when you arrange it in order of the occurrence, you give the original number or the alphabet which is given in the question. Fine. If you change it as A, B, C, D, you are tend to lose marks. Fine. Now going ahead, this is a homework for you. Match the titles with the contents of the proper paragraph. So once a certain king, it's up to important thing to do. So you will have to find out what answers will it match in the other column and do it. Along with this, you have one more homework. Say whether the verbs underlined in the sentence are finite or non-finite verbs. Okay, so the verbs are already underlined, so you just have to identify whether that particular verb is a finite verb or a non-finite verb. For example, the first sentence, yes, he decides to go to a hermit. So the word decide is underlined and the verb to go is underlined. So decides is a, what is decide? Decide is a finite verb, whereas to go is a non-finite verb. So to go, it's an infinitive, so it's a non-finite verb. Decides is a finite verb. So accordingly, you have to identify whether they are finite or non-finite verbs. This is a homework which you have to do it, because such type of questions are asked in the exams as well. Okay, so here we end. We have learned a very beautiful message through this lesson 3 questions by Leo Tolstoy. The sole purpose of our life is to do good to everybody. Yes, so that will give us satisfaction which is beyond our expectations. Fine. So taking your leave, hoping you also to learn something from this lesson, and I hope that you will surely get to understand what does it mean to us in today's time. So thank you children. Sai Ram. Stay safe, stay healthy.